everyone, welcome back to my channel. And thanks so much for all the encouraging and kind comments that a lot of you have been leaving on some of my previous videos. I read each and every one. I really do try to respond. If I don't get a chance, I apologize, but I do want you to know that I appreciate them. I wanted to show you my summer scrappy journal finally completed. I completed it a while ago. I just never made a video of it, but I never am able to keep up with any with documenting my memories in real time. Generally speaking, I do them a few months later, and that just works for me. I'm going to move this out of the way. So that's why I don't do a December daily. I tend to just write some notes and then put it all together later. So I'm using my Webster's Pages Traveler's Notebook. I love it. I think the color is super pretty and the inside dots are whimsical. And even though this is technically a standard narrow size, it definitely fits a wide, because as long as you don't stuff it a ton. And these get pretty big, and so I usually just put one at a time. So I actually make these scrappy journals. Some people call them junk journals. I don't, because I don't make them out of scraps. I make them out of really pretty paper and project life cards and craft paper and journaling pages, like, you know, white pages. And the idea behind them is you can put your memories in them, do a little journaling, and put all your photos in them. So I used to do Project Life, and it just wasn't working for me. I felt constricted by the plastic page protectors and the fact that all the pictures had to be either 2x3 or 4x6. So this has been a game changer for me. I've been able to keep up. I've done all my photos until the end of the summer. I'm working on the fall right now, and then the winter. And I don't know, it just works for me and my creative brain. So I'm just going to start flipping through and showing you. I just hand lettered Hello July. This really documents our summer travels. This is my son with flamingos. We went to Texas to visit my family. We actually have family from both sides there. My sister-in-law, my husband's older sister, lives there with her husband. So we went to Corpus Christi first and got to spend time with she and her husband. And my sister actually came along with her family to join us. They live in the Houston area. So it was nice to just see that part of Texas, and, you know, all of us just get a chance to relax and catch up. We went to the beach, and just the most memorable thing about that beach visit was that there were unbelievable winds that day. We were planning to camp out, but we just couldn't, because we were really pelted by the sand. It was fine in the water, but if you got out, it got pretty painful to, you know, to get pelted by the sand the whole time. So I wrote that we abandoned our camping dreams and went back to Kathy and Mike's house to spend the night. So and then I love these Project Life cards because I like the fact that they're a different size. So it's kind of fun it's eclectic, and a lot of times they have fun images and messages. This was us in front of a beach store. It was my niece's birthday, and so we celebrated, and that's, so I have a Project Life card that I tipped in along with a picture of all the cousins and the cupcakes we got. So we just had like a barbecue, and we celebrated at their pool. Then this was us at an ice cream shop, all of us sticking our heads out, my sister-in-law. And then from there, we went to Houston, where my family is. They specifically live in a town called Whoops. Oh, I'm so sorry. Just move the camera. They specifically live in a town called Katy. And I had these thickers. Normally, I don't like putting a ton of things that would bulk the book up. But once I put it in, I thought, you know what, it works in here. So it was nice. This is my dad hugging my younger son. We went to a Houston Astros game, which was really fun for my older one. He's a baseball fanatic right now. So that was great to be able to see that. It's an indoor stadium, which was fun for us too. This is my older son with his cousin who's 10 months older than him, and they are like the best of friends and so happy together. So, me and my sister, my brother in law, and my husband and older son. And I had this from my scrapbooking days, and I decided, why not? I'm just going to use it. I'm kind of done with hoarding anything. I love just using what's in my stash. It feels good. This picture, it's kind of funny because my younger son and this little guy, it's my sister's dog, they have not gotten along the last few years, mainly because he was a puppy, and so he would chase him when he was a baby, and they just had this adversarial relationship. But finally, I wrote how Landon and Ollie are no longer enemies. They've finally accepted each other. They're both maturing. I think they're just a little bit older now and have decided, okay, they're not, the other guy's not so bad. This is a picture of my son with his cousin. I said they were best friends, and then they wanted to get matching pajamas. They're both into Pokemon, so it was super cute. This is just a good way to use the Project Life cards. When you have a 4x6 photo, you can just put it right on there, and it's nice. It's just like a floating picture there. But this is my parents with the 2 dogs and all the grandkids. So special when we can get together because we live on the East Coast. 4th of July, we had a barbecue, and then we ended up letting the kids and the dads camp out in the backyard because we didn't get to do it the night before. And it was nice because they live on a huge lake and there were fireworks, so we got to see them all night. This is the cousins going to see BFG, the Disney movie, and I love that my brother-in-law got a picture of them watching it, and they look really happy watching it. I thought that was cool. So I just put these tickets. This is not the actual tickets, but it's kind of fun to put them in there. I love summer. This is us at the pool. And then we did a family birthday party for my niece who turned 13 because we included my parents this time, and she really wanted this. She's into Star Wars and she loves Legos, so that was her big gift. It was a huge R2-D2 that she really wanted. So picture of the cousins. You're going to see a lot of cousins in here. And then we said goodbye, it's always so hard to say goodbye, but we had an upcoming trip a couple weeks later with them, so it wasn't as bad as it normally is. This is them getting ready to go on the plane. He's coming home with a Texas, like a cowboy hat. This is my son's best friend at school. We went to his birthday party, and I just put a little hat on him. Then we bought a bunk bed set for my oldest, and he's been wanting a bunk bed forever. And so I had to get a picture with Dad because he put it together, and they were so happy, and they love it. Then we bought a new car. This is our old car that we traded in. We'd had it for 9 years since my son was born, and it had 221,000 miles on it. So that was hard to let it go. I love that car, and I wish we could have kept going with it, but we knew it was time, and so we ended up getting this car, a bigger SUV that seats 8 people and has a lot more cargo space, so it works for our family. And I wanted to remember this was the kids' favorite car in the showroom. That's one they wanted, and so it was cute. You can't even see them there, but I just felt bad because you know how long it takes to buy a car. They were there for hours, and they were so good. Then we hit the road in our new car, and we went to the Berkshires in upstate New York, where my brother-in-law has a weekend house. And this was, look how cute this is. This is the Burger King booth on the way there. It is the cutest Burger King, I wrote, but it looks like a 50s diner, and that's a 50s car. Then I saw some beautiful wildflowers. And this is us once we were up there. They got to spend time with a lot of cousins from my husband's side. This is the backyard, and they have like a guest barn, which is really nice. People can stay out there, and the kids love playing in the backyard because there's less traffic. They don't have to be supervised as much, but this is my husband and son playing, just throwing the ball. So we had lots of watermelon, we had crabs, so I thought this was fitting. This paper actually has crabs on it, so that worked. Cousins, this is Evan's older boy cousin who he really looks up to. It was my mother-in-law's 85th birthday, so it was nice that we got a chance to celebrate together as a family. Sister-in-law, my husband. I do like to hand letter where I can in these books. I think it's easy for me, and so, you know, sometimes I do like to use stickers too, but when it's not convenient, I just hand letter. And notice I mostly hand letter all my journaling. I do have a typewriter that I like to pull out sometimes, but in a rush, this is easy. This is one of the a 13-year-old cousin who adores Landon and took such good care of him. I was so grateful. Right before we left, I caught the children looking over the fence at something, and when I looked closer, I saw that it was a little bunny rabbit. So I wrote about that, and I have this stamp that says Treasured Memories. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to move the camera. From there, we went to New York City. So I wrote next stop, or I used these little alpha stickers. So we went to New York, and we met up with my sister because her older daughter was in a summer camp intensive for theater. So they had to be there, and so we timed everything out so that we could meet up with them and see them again. So our first day, we went to the Nintendo store, where these guys were super happy because they like the little video games. Like there's a Nintendo 3DS that my son has. So this, I thought I just had to document because it was a tiny little escalator. You could see that's my 4-year-old, and it's like a perfect size for him, and that's my foot on it. But I just needed to remember that's the narrowest escalator I've ever been on. This is the middle of the book, and I can show you. Sorry, these are some of the bands. But I do hand stitch all these books, so they're super secure. You can see this is wax linen thread. And then, okay, so I decided I wanted to document some memories about our trip, but I wasn't sure how best to do it when I really wanted to focus on pictures. So what I did is I wrote down, I have this, 5 New York City summer favorites. I wrote people watching. For Landon, the subway. He loves the subway. Shopping, the yummiest Japanese restaurants. We're Japanese American, so that's always a highlight, to eat really good food. And then the Broadway shows. And then I wanted to remember, one of the funniest memories is getting completely soaked after a torrential downpour. And I was wearing white pants, and it ended up being really funny. So this is my son. He loves the subway, but then he says it's too loud. He's not used to that, so he was covering his ears. But I just got this impromptu shot of the kids sitting on the subway, my son holding a little train. He always goes everywhere with like a little truck or train. And then this is on top of my brother-in-law's building. It's such a nice view of the city. So my brother-in-law, who has that weekend house in the Berkshire, actually lives in New York City. And so we always get to stay with him, which is awesome because we probably go up there every other month. The kids love it. So I just wrote about that, how it's a magical city in so many ways. So I feel really blessed that we have, we can always go to the city, we can always go to the country, and we do take advantage of that often. Then this is the kids in Times Square, which is always fun, especially for people watching. And I wanted to remember, this was the one picture we got with my niece, which isn't the best picture because it was at night, but I wanted to remember, I wrote about how we barely saw Alyssa this week because she was busy with her musical theater summer camp. And I took this picture from her camera. This is her and her friends from the camp. So, and also notice I stamped this upside down, but I need to, I think I'm going to put a sticker on it, but it happens sometimes. This is a picture at the NBC studios of my son in the voice chair. We love The Voice, so it was super fun to see that. From there, we moved on to Washington, D.C. We moved back, I guess. We live right outside of Washington. So they came, they went on the train, and so I just got a picture of my sister and I. We never get enough pictures. I feel like the adults, especially the moms, we never take pictures of ourselves. So every now and then I just like to make sure that we get ourselves in there and we tell our stories. So it's not only about the kids. We went to the International. Okay, for some reason my camera cut off, so I'm just going to pick it up here. We went to the International Spy Museum, which my son had been wanting to do forever, but we could never find the time because my younger son, he was only 3 at the time, and it's hard to, you don't want to bring a 3-year-old to, it just didn't seem appropriate. So it was above his head, I should say. It's not that it was so inappropriate, but so it was perfect to go with my sister and the kids, and my husband was able to watch my younger one. Then we went to Hershey Park. We try to go to one amusement park a year with my sister and the kids. So I couldn't decide which photo I liked best. So I decided to just tip one in over the other. And then it was perfect because my older niece, she doesn't really like rides that much, so she rode with the younger guy on some of his kiddie rides, and then these two went with my husband on all the really scary roller coasters. They're definitely thrill seekers. So then we celebrated my boys' birthdays early. Their birthdays are August 9th and August 13th, and I think this was the beginning of August, just like a week before. But we wanted to celebrate while we could with my sister and the kids, so that was a really nice memory for them. This sums up, I love this picture because this sums up how my younger guy feels about his big brother. He's always looking up to him. Whenever they take pictures, often this is the first picture I'll get, is him looking to see what are we supposed to do? So I loved it, and I happen to have this Hungry Little Caterpillar washi tape and stickers. So I thought it was kind of perfect for this. This is my son's actual birthday. He turned 4 on this day. That was his favorite new truck and birthday balloon. This was us celebrating with cupcakes. I do try to, even though their birthdays are only 4 days apart, I try to really just celebrate each kid one at a time, especially given their age difference. They're 5 years apart. And even though they're boys, I have no problems with using pinks and girly colors when I make these books, because ultimately, yes, I'm sure these books will be passed down to my kids, but they're my memories, and this is my only way I could use some of these girly products. This was his favorite present. It's this firefighter costume that he wears almost every day, I would say. I mean, truly, he loves this thing. So I had to capture him wearing that. And then it was my son's birthday, my older one, 4 days later, and that was his favorite present, this BB1 remote control. So we celebrated with my husband. And then I wrote about, he wanted, his cake of choice was red velvet. I like to remember the little details. This is, again, with his favorite gift, and I wrote out what else he's really into at 9 years old. That day for his birthday, we decided to go to a minor league baseball game because we knew that he loves anything baseball, so we had a really good time. That's the two of us. And then, I just love that. The minor league teams, one thing I like, they do a great job keeping it family friendly. So this is a picture of, they had a merry-go-round overlooking the field, and they had a huge bouncy castle and slides, and carnival games. So we had fun there. Then my girlfriend just called me out of the blue and said, hey, come meet us for lunch. So I just wrote about how I love it when we get those out of the blue phone calls and get to see friends. This is my life, constant shenanigans. They were really into Chick-fil-A this summer, so I wanted to write about that. Then, oh, this one. I actually like this spread. So this was the first time my younger son ate gum. I have this little rule that none of them can eat gum until they're 4 years old. I just feel like they don't get it, that they're not supposed to swallow it. So he turned 4, he wanted to eat gum, and his first gum was this sugarless Mentos gum, and he was so happy. I just realized my finger has, this isn't a scar, this is actually blueberries from my smoothie when I reached in the bag. Okay, so glad I got that out of the way. Okay, hold on one second. All right, we're almost done here. So anyway, and not surprisingly, he loved the gum. Then this is a picture of my older son, O is for orthodontist. He got a retainer this year. So I wrote about how much it's costing us, but I wrote cost and then perfect teeth, priceless. So this one, I just took this, I have this picture of this dog, and I don't know why it reminded me of my son. So I wrote separated at birth and then just put it just cracks me up a lot. So I just wanted to do a little spread there. And then this is my son getting his first pair of like big boy baseball cleats. We went looking and I wrote down what size, what kind he got. He was so happy. And I wrote down what his favorite team is and who his favorite player is. And then finally, we're coming to an end almost. I have several part-time jobs besides my Etsy shop, and one of them is I do some broadcast work. So I was just showing where I do my work and how in the summer we were shooting something where it was supposed to look like I was reporting these are training videos that we're doing. And so I think some city was training their police to respond to I think some protesting, and so I had to pretend I was reporting at a protest, and so they put me in front of a green screen, and then it was supposed to be the winter, so I had to wear a coat and a hat and a scarf, and then it was just funny that it was August and I was doing that. Then I just wrote my top buys. I needed to remember that these are favorite gloves. I know it's crazy that we can be so attached to gloves for washing dishes, but we just love these gloves, and once one of mine kind of got a cut in it and all the water started seeping in, I knew we had to find them again, and I was able to find them on on Amazon. Etsy has a lot of things, but I don't know about that. So I just thought it was a great day when we got them. I ordered a Naked Cow traveler's notebook that I love. That arrived. This is the kids at Touch a Truck. They can go and go inside all these trucks in our little town. They love that. That was me with my haircut. So I actually have, and then I have this sticker that I loved. When you love what you have everything you need. I actually have a few more pages in this book. So I do have a couple more pictures I think I'll be putting in here. Another option is I have some pictures that my kids drew that I might put in here, but I am so happy I was able to get all of our July and August memories in one book. And I love, and the only way that you can really do that is by resizing your photos. So if you want to see a video on how I resize them, just comment. Or if you have any story ideas for that matter, just comment, and I'm happy to. Sometimes I don't do videos because I don't have a good idea, but anyway, so thanks again for watching. If this is something you're into doing and you make videos, or you know someone who makes videos like this, I would love to connect, and because I love watching videos on how other people are memory keeping. So thanks a lot, and I'll be back.